And
Did
John
you really
Cleary.
kiss him?
Yeah, John Cleary was playing my boyfriend. He was having all the same fears, and was not expressing them to me. We probably could have helped each other if we had talked, but you know, we were both acting like I've done this before. And it was inside of a van, and
Wow.
yeah, it was
Oh,
not a fun day for me.
I remember that. I don't think I was there that day.
I don't think you
No,
were.
because we would have commiserated over that.
Maybe you could have helped me out. Actually, I really had no idea what.
I didn't know either. I never kissed
that's
anybody
true.
on film.
Claudette came from St. Louis, and
Yeah, not to do the show.
where they don't have a lot of, you know, Hollywood showbizy type stuff to learn about there.
No.
And so
I
it
was
all
really
new.
naive, and Tracy would tell me things. I didn't know how show business really worked.
Well,
and
my family was in the show business. I had never done television before, but I know a little bit about stuff.
she knew how things worked, and she would tell me, and I'd say, "Oh, that can't happen. That's not going on." I was so naive. She still tells me things now, and I am still learning every day. You grow up in it or you don't, and you learn the best way you can.
There's a beauty in being that naive, you know. I mean, there was a beauty in all of us being that naive,
Yeah.
and including Anne, including everybody that was involved in production. It was kind of like you felt like the sky was the limit, and you could really try stuff and do stuff, and you didn't feel locked into that thing. Like there's an old joke. How many television executives does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
I don't know. What do you think? And that's kind of like, we didn't have that on our show, which was really great.
Because we were 40 miles away
that's right.
in Norwalk.
And honestly, I think that's why we were canceled. I think it was too...
They didn't have enough control.
Right.
Who knows? I don't know.
Also, I don't think they were smart enough to get a lot of the jokes. Don't tell anybody I said that, but...
They're going to find out now.
Yeah, but I really think that's true. I think a lot of the humor, back then, especially in the sitcom, it's pie in the face kind of stuff, and we didn't do a lot of that. And I think
it was really funny.
It was funny, and a lot of it was just over everybody's head. We said stuff that people were like, "What? What did she just say?
Yeah.
Is that okay?" Yeah.
My background was theater too, and so improvisational comedy theater. So to me, it was just normal. Because, you said all kinds of risque things in improvisational comedy theater. So, but I didn't know from television.
Do you remember when we made fun of the facts of life? That one line?
No, I don't.
I don't know if
What
I
was
should
the
repeat
line?
it. Something about, I think Marshall Bleckman said something like, I think it was a football episode or something about Muffy. He was the radio announcer or something. Muffy is going to take on the entire cast of Facts of Life.
I remember that.
Yeah, originally the line was "Fats of Life."
That's
which
right.
They said no.
We couldn't have that?
Oh, and I remember too, the other reason I was very disappointed it got canceled was because there were rumors that we might have in character been able to be ushers at the Emmys. And I remember there was some talk about that and how incredibly fun that would have been to just have no big fanfare about it. We all just in character
that would have been hysterical.
With our ushers' costumes would have been at the Emmys just taking people to their seats, and that really sounded great.
See, now she knows about that, and she probably told me, but I have no memory of that.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, but there was so much inside stuff going on that I didn't know about.
But that's good because you were focused on your work.
Yeah, writing notes in that notebook. We had a notebook. Tracy decided that when we were...
there was a lot of classroom stuff.
In the classroom stuff. When we'd sit and wait for the lighting changes and stuff to happen, she passed this notebook around, and we all wrote notes as our characters back and forth to each other, and that was a really good idea.
It's pretty funny.
It is. She still has it. Very good idea. Well, I'd just like to say, one thing about Ann Beats. If Ann had not been such... she was from New York, and she didn't know
that kind of says it all.
That kind of says it all. She didn't know how things were run in Hollywood. I never would have gotten to audition for the show because my acting teacher went to audition for the role of the principal. And he said to Anne, she liked him. He didn't get the part. She liked him, and he said, "Would you see people from my acting school because I have a lot of young people in my..." And she said, "Sure." That doesn't happen. So everybody from the acting school got to audition, and I got a part. I didn't have an agent. That's how I got the part, because of Anne.
And I think the fact that, I didn't look like Heather Locklear, I was sure I was not going to get the part. But, Anne being as cool as she is and such a maverick and going, okay, well, this girl doesn't look like everybody else, but she's interesting, so we'll maybe cast her as the popular girl in school. And you know, anybody else probably would not have done that.
No,
So
we wouldn't have had those jobs.
we owe, and not just the job and jobs that came from that to Anne, but also the fact that we're friends. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me that came out of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Really and truly, I spend all my holidays with her.
We're family now.
We are. We're like
family.
sisters, and we are. It's true. It happened. Thanks.
Welcome.